Okay, for this video, we're going to see how to draw boxes on the horizon line. So in the last video, we drew boxes above. This one's going to have those boxes positioned on the horizon line. And this means that when you draw your box, the front of your box, that it has to touch this line here. So we're gonna follow the same step as we would for the other boxes, only now we make sure they touch the horizon line. So the horizon line should basically go through your box somewhere. All right, and you want to make sure if you're just, starting this drawing on a new day, not the same day as your first drawing, you want to make sure that you think back to the last video about the straight lines. So they're really important. You want to make sure with your ruler that you're really keeping your line straight by making sure your ruler is lined up with the edge of your paper when you're drawing the straight lines. So when I drew my lines up and down vertically, I made sure I lined up my ruler on the bottom edge of my paper here to keep those lines straight. So if you look at this box, it's passing through the horizon line. I can actually now go inside of here, inside of this box, and I can erase out where it has crossed through. So just in that space, I don't want to erase anything out here, but I can get rid of that little space in there. All right, so for boxes on the horizon line, we're only going to see essentially the side of the box. So if we look at our last cubes, imagine you're standing on this line here. You're going to see these above your head. So you're going to see the bottom of the cube or the box, and then you'll probably see part of the side based on where you were, positioned. If you are the dot and you're looking straight up here, you'll probably only see the bottom. You won't see either of the sides. The same rules apply for the ones here on the horizon line. So imagine you're standing on this line again and you're looking over. You're only going to see the side of the box. So we're not going to see the top or bottom of these boxes. We're only going to see the sides. So when we go in to put our orthogonal lines in, and orthogonals are ones that connect from the corner to the vanishing point, we're actually only going to draw them from the two corners. So if you remember from your last video, when we went over those ones, I said if you draw one from a corner and it cuts through the front of your cube, you don't have to draw it. So this is the case for these ones on the horizon line. They're going to cut through the front of your cube. So the two on the opposite side of the vanishing point, you don't have to draw those ones in. So it saves you a little work and a little erasing. All right, so we have those two sides in. We're going to finish out our box by drawing the end of it. So if we think back again to our first cubes, when we had this corner here, we had to repeat it on the back side to finish off the cube. Same thing for this one here. When we draw this vertical line down, we're going to repeat it to make the back of it here. All right, and where our horizon line goes through it, we can erase that. And then our extra orthogonal lines here, we can also erase. All right, so same thing if I did one over here on this side. I'll do like a longer rectangular one. Okay, tops and bottoms. All right, I'm making sure these lines are as straight as possible using my ruler on the edge of the page to make sure they're absolutely straight. All right, get rid of my little overhang here. Get rid of my horizon line passing through. All right, and then connect my corners. So these ones go a little faster because you're only working on two sides basically, or two corners, I mean. One side. Right, and then we close it off with another vertical. So you can erase where the horizon line passes through, and you can erase your extra orthogonals, and you are left with your box. Okay, so let's say I drew one, you know, a little further over. This one's like in my way. I'm just gonna draw it like that's not even there. So I'm gonna draw my box. So I'll just have to, when I erase my orthogonals, I just want to be careful not to erase part of my old box. So I'm still gonna connect it through here. All right, close it off on the back half. Get rid of my lines in here, in here. All right, and then all this extra behind it, I don't need any of this. All right, so where it crosses through this box here, all right, we want to get rid of that. We don't need that inside. We just want to see our old cube. Okay, and then you would just repeat that for, you know, one more box somewhere else on the horizon line. So that's how you do a box on the horizon line in addition to the ones that are above the horizon line.